The doors to the Viridian tea house are open once more. Hello everyone, hope you have a nice warm beverage. I have a little bit to talk about, some really cool books and some wonderful tea and meditation. So let's get started. First bit of news, November 20th through the 22nd is the Wheat Ridge Coop Thanksgiving Market. The hours are from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And like I said, the dates are the 20th through the 22nd. So if you're trying to find something that is beyond the usual cranberry sauce and ham and turkey and all of that, come on by. We're going to have lots of goodies for you to look through and purchase. I will have tea and also books, art and photography. Who knows, maybe somebody wants to buy some photos. Who knows? But the address is 5640 West 29th Avenue in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. And once again, that is the Thanksgiving market provided by the Wheat Ridge Coop. And the dates are again November 20th through the 22nd, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hope to see you there. Well, before I begin with these two books, let me just say that they are so far apart in genres. I had to put them together today. Many thanks to Inglewood Public Library and Denver Public Library for having these two books. So if you got some tea, let's do this. So the first book was written by someone that I've admired for years. I have always loved him in any movie that he did. And he has passed. May his memory forever be a blessing. And I had no idea that he had written 3 or 4 books. I think one was nonfiction and the other 3 are fiction. So I looked them up and I saw one of them and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to read it. My French Whore by Gene Wilder. I always loved Gene Wilder in Stir Crazy, Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Silver Streak. Oh, he was in something else and I can't remember. Oh, The Producers. Love Gene Wilder. So I knew that I was in for a treat in reading this book. So let me read the dust jacket for you. But I love the cover. It's just something about the cover that just, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even care what the book is about. I just have to read it. It was just aesthetically pleasing. So the dust jacket reads, oh. The beloved actor and screenwriter's first novel, set during World War I, delicately and elegantly explores a most unusual romance. It's almost the end of the war, and Paul Peachy, a young railway employee and amateur actor in Milwaukee, realizes his marriage is one-sided. He enlists and ships off to France. Peachy instantly realizes how out of his depth he is, and never more so than when he is captured. Risking everything, Peachy, who as a child of immigrants speaks German, makes the reckless decision to impersonate one of the enemy's most famous spies. As the urbane and accomplished spy Harry Stroller, Peachy has access to a world he could never have known existed. A world of sumptuous living, world-weary men, and available women. But when one of those women, Annie, a young, beautiful, and wary courtesan, turns out to be more than she seems, Peachy's life is transformed forever. And a little bit about Gene Wilder. He's been acting since he was 13, writing for the screen since the early 1970s. His first book about his own life was Kiss Me Like a Stranger. My French Whore was his first novel, and he last lived in Connecticut with his wife, Karen. So, in reading this book, I actually heard Gene Wilder's voice, and it wasn't when he goes crazy or anything like that, except when stuff's in caps, but I read this book in one sitting. I think I got up once to go to the bathroom, but I read this in one sitting. It had a little bit of humor. You're rooting for Peachy. You're like, come on, man, this is really impossible, but are you gonna pull this off or not? I love the characters. I loved, of course, Peachy. I loved Annie. I loved all of it. And it was like sitting with Mr. Wilder or Mr. Wilder's ghost and he's telling me this story, and I'm just devouring it. So, My French Whore by the late and great Gene Wilder receives 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So I really did enjoy this, and I cannot wait to read his other books, and including his memoir too. I can't wait. This was just such a treasure to read. All right, so the second one, like I said, these 2 books have nothing in common. I just want to say that I discovered this series quite by accident. So for those of you who are devoted bibliophiles who go to the library all the time, you probably have run across this magazine called Book Page. It has a plethora of books that are coming out. They got reviews, all different genres, interviews, you name it. And it's all free in the library. So I just grabbed a copy that one particular day. And as I'm kind of perusing through, I was like, oh, this sounds like an interesting book. And apparently it's the latest, I think it's book number 7 in the series. And I thought, okay, now I'm really intrigued. Does this library have the first or second book? Thankfully, they had the second book, devoured it. Then I located the first book, devoured it. The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, All Systems Red. This is the first book in the series. My God, I did not know I was Murderbot depleted. I need more Murderbot. And the second book, which I've already returned to the library, it was interesting for me to read the second book because it satisfied my questions as to like, who are you and how did you get to where you are? But reading the first book really cemented it, and I am in love with Murderbot. So let me read the back of it for you. In a corporate-dominated spacefaring future, planetary missions must be approved and supplied by the company. Exploratory teams are accompanied by company-supplied security androids for their own safety. But in a society where contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, safety isn't a primary concern. On a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company-supplied droid, a self-aware SEC unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself, though never out loud, as Murderbot. Scornful of humans, all it really wants is to be left alone long enough to figure out who it is. But when a neighboring mission goes dark, it's up to the scientists and their Murderbot to get to the truth. Reading, because Murderbot is the narrator, but reading his words, and I was trying to get Murderbot's voice because he's AI. I mean, he's a robot. This was probably one of the most humane human characters I've ever encountered. So I'm a big anime fan, and I specifically love like the Ghost in the Shell series. Like I watched the first 2 movies, then I watched the live action movie with Scarlett Johansson. I know not a lot of people liked it. I really liked it. I really did. But I love that idea of, and also Ergo Proxy. If you're looking for an anime that is philosophical, steampunk, cyberpunk, gothic, dark academia, you cannot go wrong with Ergo Proxy. But it's that whole idea of automatons or AI or robots who become self-aware and what happens to them afterward. It's not so much that they become self-aware, it's what happens to them afterward. And reading All Systems Red, like a Murderbot who hacks its own governor module and is very much aware and is questioning, who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? Why should I care about these humans? Should I just kill them all? Why am I feeling this way towards a couple of the humans? So this actually took me a while to read because even though slender book, it's packed with action and some suspense, and you're trying to figure out everything that Murderbot is trying to figure out as well. a little bit of philosophy, you know, asking the question, what makes someone human? Is it just skin? Is it blood? Is it a soul? Is it a brain? I don't know. And just, I also had some humorous moments too, because apparently Murderbot likes to watch this particular TV show, which I thought was really kind of cool. But I loved Murderbot, and I'm ready for the third book. In fact, I might just check out, you know, books 3 through 7 and just hoard them so I can be able to read them. But yes, if you are looking for a good sci-fi series to begin, that will engage you from the moment you open the book to the moment you close it, you cannot go wrong with the Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. All systems red. That's your starting point, and it receives 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. So I will, I'm going to skip 2 because I think somebody else has it right now, but I will be reviewing the books 3 through 7, so be on the lookout. And if you happen to have read this series, please send me an email, tgoddess74@gmail.com, and let me know what you think. Don't spoil any of the other books. I only read first 2. But yes, this was quite a surprise. I do like some science fiction. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love Star Trek, Dune. Let's not even go there. You know, I'm obsessed with Dune. So reading some sci-fi books, I'm like, more fantasy. This had me going from page 1. Like I said earlier, I can't stop talking about it. I really did enjoy this Murderbot series, and I can't wait for book 3. I really can't. All right, so no tea to review today, but today's tea is one of my favorites, Bigelow green tea with pomegranate. And the ingredients are, let's see, green tea, apple, hibiscus, natural pomegranate flavors with other natural flavors, rose hips, licorice root, and pomegranate peel. I have found that with black tea, I get a nice buzz that lasts me for most of the day. With green tea, I still have that, but I feel like they call it the calm focus. Like I feel way more relaxed, but I can focus on what I'm doing at hand, and I'm not wanting to take a nap or I'm feeling scatterbrained. It's like I drink like maybe 2 or 3 cups of green tea during the day, and I feel naturally awake and just feeling quite good and feeling quite relaxed. It kind of smooths out the anxiety, you know? So from me to you, lovely cup of pomegranate green tea brought to us by Bigelow. Oh, that's just so good. That really is good. Quite tasty. Right, so let's see here. What do I want to do next? I know. So as you know, I've been reading poetry to you guys. So how about some random Emily Dickinson for you? I have my lovely collected poems of Emily Dickinson in my collection. And let's just point to here. Newman Lumen. I live with him, I see his face, I go no more away, for visitor or sundown, death's single privacy. The only one forestalling mine, and that by right that he presents a claim invisible, no wedlock granted me. I live with him, I hear his voice, I stand alive today, to witness to the certainty of immortality. Taught me by time the lower way, conviction every day, that life like this is endless, be judgment what it may. That's your Emily Dickinson for the day. So let's wrap up with a tea and water meditation. Make sure you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea. Find yourself in a comfortable position. We're just going to focus on our breathing for a while. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come into focus once more. And now let's have a sip of your tea or water. Refreshing. So that's all I have today. Many thanks to the ghost of Gene Wilder, Martha Wells, the good folks at Bigelow, and also to the ghost of Emily Dickinson. And as always, to you, fair viewers, who watch my crazy, unedited videos. So take care of yourself and each other. Raise your teacup high, and remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see you guys really soon. Bye for now.